Tomorrow marks 35 years since the passing of a law that prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities. The Americans with Disabilities Act continues to affect the lives of millions of Americans.
It's made a huge difference. In tonight's Project Community, Kayla James sat down with former Iowa U.S. Senator Tom Harkin. He reflected on his time as the lead sponsor of a bill that changed so much.
Despite 35 years passing since,
I gave my speech in sign language in the U.S. Senate.
Former U.S. Senator to Iowa, Tom Harkin, remembers July 1990 like it was yesterday, the month a life-changing bill he saw to as the lead sponsor.
I now lift my pen to sign this Americans with Disability Act.
Was signed into law.
Let the shameful wall of exclusion finally come tumbling down.
The Americans with Disabilities Act, a law that prevents discrimination against people with disabilities, focusing on key areas: employment, public services, public accommodations, telecommunications, and more. A journey that for Harkin,
Well, I grew up here in small town Iowa with a brother who was deaf.
maybe began decades before he held an office.
He was a great inspiration for me. He was not going to let his deafness in any way keep him from trying to achieve what he wanted to achieve.
Much like the men and women across the U.S. who held demonstrations in the years prior to the ADA.
There was all during the 80s, there were the demonstrations. The disability community took a page from the nonviolent protests in the African American community in the 50s and 60s that led to the Civil Rights Act.
And demonstrations plus hard work at the U.S. Capitol eventually led to the Americans with Disabilities Act.
It's nice to have worked so long and so hard on a bill like the ADA and then live long enough to see what it's done to society.
Automatic push buttons, automatic doors, captions, Braille.
All important products that the Harkin Institute's Director of Disability Policy, Daniel Van Sant, says are integral to everyday life.
These things didn't exist until there was a law and regulations requiring them to be here.
No matter where you look within the Harkin Institute, everything is made to be accessible, just as the building's namesake intended for all places to be following the passing of the ADA. But 35 years later.
But there's two things that I'm still upset about.
Harkin says more needs to be done.
We haven't done very well in employment, and that we put in the bill that buildings had to be accessible.
Harkin says the latter wasn't done because realtors and home builders were opposed to it.
Housing should be in there. I mean, new housing built in America should be accessible. We know that if you start at the beginning in the design and construction, the added cost of making things accessible is minimal, sometimes nothing.
As for the employment aspect,
A lot of the focus of our policy work here is on disability employment.
the Harkin Institute team is on it.
Working with disabled advocates, business leaders, governments, universities, to try to break down some of this stigma, these attitudes, or the built environment barriers that are keeping disabled people from contributing to the workforce and being able to be, economically independent.
Van Sant says to do better when it comes to disability employment, a lot of stereotypes need to be broken down.
Disability also comes with benefits, right? We are problem solvers, we are hard workers, we push, we're inventive.
35 years since the ADA's passing, Harkin says he's proud. But yes, there is more work to be done. Work that starts with everyday people.
Alive this concept that people with disabilities shouldn't be segregated out. They shouldn't be treated as second-class citizens or looked upon as first defined by their disability. They shouldn't be defined by their disability, but defined by who you are.